Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. First of all, I have transferred What If Naruto Was Given Abilities by 4 Devils over to Anime King from Anime King 2 guys. Since I haven't heard anything back from them, so I'm gonna be doing it over there. I only post one episode on Anime King 2, so it's only one episode over Anime King 2. And I leave a link in the description over on Anime King. Link will be to Anime King 2 guys. So you guys can go ahead and check out part 2. I'll be posting this series on Anime King from now on, until I get news from Anime King 2, but I guess I'll let it stay on Anime King. But enough about that. Today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Awakened, the Yellow Rinnegan after his exile. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform guys. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Given Ability by 4 Devils over Anime King. Link will be at the top of the description for you guys to enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoyed the videos, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, as Naruto was lying on the ground, as Nagato had just told him to join him, as Naruto was rather surprised about that. Nagato had removed all the restraints, allowing Naruto to get to his feet, as Naruto lashed out with his tail, but he stopped an inch away from Nagato's face. The man didn't try to block or dodge his attack. As Naruto asked him why, the man simply told him that his eyes were now open, and to follow him. As Naruto told Kaido that he was fine, and he'd be back soon. So he went and he phoned him. Konan was rather surprised at Nagato leading Naruto here, as Nagato spoke to him. As Naruto stood there and took in everything that Nagato said, as he told him about his past, and Naruto told him what happened to him. The two stories were quite similar, both of them achieving great loss to awaken these eyes. Well, Nagato had his first, but his entire world was turned upside down after Yaiko's death, as Naruto had a decision to make. Within a time skip, as Naruto saying goodbye to the family, as he told him that he will visit ever so often, and once he's ready, they will move to Uzo with him. As they hugged him goodbye, and with that he headed off to meet up with Konan, who gave him his new robes. Jiraiya had made his way toward the top of the hill, where he met the family. He heard from some of his spies about what was going on. Well, the large output of chakra. Although they didn't get anything demonic, he decided to just check every loose end or anything he decided to check nowadays. But there was nothing, as the family told him that they never heard of him before. As Naruto met the rest of the members of the Akatsuki, they were quite shocked. Kisame, yes, as he remembered little pipsqueak that they were trying to take a couple years ago, but now he was standing here in front of them. As Naruto will be working with Konan, he don't try to put authority over Naruto, seeing that he was a new member of the Akatsuki, but Naruto quickly put him in his place, and with that he left. For the remaining 5 months, Naruto trained, as Nagato had showed him the other path of Rinnegan. Things that Nagato did not know, Naruto did, but in secret. As Nagato didn't even know the full extent of what Naruto possessed now. The last time they battled, Naruto brought him down to 2 paths, as he did not know how much power Naruto had. As Madara had warned Nagato, if anything happened, it's on his head. Konan was finding Naruto quite, well, intriguing, as his mind wasn't easy to crack and understand. He did strange things most time, things that she couldn't even understand. And despite his age, he is quite mature, as it was finally time for the world to know of his existence, well, a part of the Akatsuki, as Naruto was going out to make a mark in this world, and his first job was to find and eradicate Orochimaru, as Naruto had find out a way about his serpents, as he could literally splice chakra genes. Not even Nagato knew the full extent of his serpents, as Naruto was holding back information, not telling Nagato certain things. But he was able to save Gaara, as he was doing it for his own self-interest, as far as Konan saw. When Uzo is raised off its feet, they're gonna need allies. And rescuing the Kazekage despite being a part of a team that, well, captured him, was going to be a big waif. So with that, Naruto jumped off the tower as Konan followed behind him. As Jiraiya had heard information about a boy passing through the land of grass, wearing the Akatsuki clothing, but they lost sight of him. Yellow hair and whisker marks. Jiraiya didn't even want to think that was even possible. But when Jiraiya heard golden eyes, he figured that it was someone else. But still, the thought was in the back of his mind. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I left off. You guys can switch across to the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say begin this new episode? Konan was currently standing on ice. They were near the border of Shiminakune, up in the mountain regions. There was a village over off to the side, but no, it was gone. As she looked over towards Naruto, as he was on his knees, as he had his eyes closed, his hands in a prayer-like motion. Despite no gravesite or nothing being there, he was praying towards the spot that he was. As hearing his story, Konan figured that this was the location where he lost those two precious people to him that changed him so much. But she was confused though. She has never been here with him before, but seeing that they were passing by, to get towards their objective, he stopped by here. She was confused, and she wanted to ask about the village, because she saw no village in sight. As Naruto got off his knees, and got to his feet, as he smiled towards the spot, as he muttered a few words. Before he walked over, Konan narrowed her eyes. "May I ask you something?" she said. "What is it?" said Naruto. "When you spoke to Nagato, you told him that there was a village here." "I don't see one," she said. "Well, it seems that Danzo finally realized that the mission was a failure." As Naruto looked over towards the spot. "When I first came back here, I was confused, thinking I came to the wrong spot. But my eyes were able to see it all," said Naruto. This was indeed the same spot. Over off to the distance, one of his lackey must have been able to use an earth-style jutsu. They completely severed the ground and buried the village underneath. "What?" said Konan. "Yes. All of the bodies are underground. I refrained from touching any of them. This would serve as a proper burial site for them, where they lived. But they're all dead now," said Naruto. "And your friends?" she asked. "I don't know what happened to their body after we got attacked. But given that I didn't have full control of my eyes at that moment, I don't think anything for a mile radius survived when I let loose." "Come on, let's go," he said, as he started to walk off. She walked with him as there was nothing but silence, as she wondered why they were not moving faster than this. Until he spoke. "You know, I never asked. What do you want to do?" he asked. She looked at him confused by the question. "What do you mean?" "Well, Nagato's goal is to make this world grow by feeling pain. But you, I never really asked you. What is your opinion in the matter?" "I am with Nagato," she said. "His goal is also my goal." "Come on. It's been a couple months now, right?" "Yes," she said. "Do the other members of the Akatsuki know about Nagato?" Naruto asked. "No," she said to him, as she did not want to tell him about Madara, as Nagato had told her not to tell him yet about that. She was confused by that though, because with the power that he had, and the power that Nagato possessed as well, they no longer need Madara. She has never found the courage to speak to Nagato about that yet, because she didn't know his thoughts on the matter, but she wanted to. "Can't you see that Nagato trusts me?" said Naruto. "After all, being so new and he told me about his identity already." "Do you not trust me?" he said, as he turned towards her. "Why would you think that?" she said. "Well, it's pretty hard to go on a mission with a partner that has your back if you know that they don't fully trust you," said Naruto. "I will be assisting you on your matters," she said to him. "Yes, that's different," said Naruto. "You're assisting me on my matters because you're a partner. But do you trust me?" he asked. Konan looked at him. As he looked back at her, neither of them saying a word, her cool expression. For a moment she saw something. It was a flash. For the briefest of seconds as he smiled. As she saw it, an image of Yaiko. Her face did not change though. "Come on, no need to be so serious," said Naruto. "After all, if you don't find enjoyment in this lifetime, you will just go on being like a cold, lifeless machine. Especially with that face of yours. You don't need to be so serious. What do you mean by that? She asks. Well, if anyone hasn't told you before, you're quite beautiful, he said, as he continued to walk. As Conan took the compliment, but her face remained neutral. See what I mean, said Naruto. Not even a small tiny smirk, or even a bit of blushing. I don't understand you, she said. And what do you mean by that, said Naruto. You, me and Nagato went through something similar. Nagato is focused on his ideals and his plans. What you? You're serious most of the time, but then the next, you're different. Well, a friend once told me that if we're going to enjoy this little life that we have, we can't go around being angry and serious all the time. Sometimes it's just fun to let loose and have a bit of fun, said Naruto. I mean, we only live once, right? As he reached down into the snow, as Conan were thinking about his words. She has never really done anything personally for herself. Always been about the goal. Always been about, yes, the plan. What has she ever accomplished with her life? She has never even went to watch a proper movie before. She was snapped out of her thoughts as something hit her in the back of the head. As she reached and touched it, she didn't even sense anything coming. It wasn't anything to shock her. As she looked at it, it was a snowball. As she turned towards Naruto, looking quite pissed off, as a few papers came from her body and turned into small shurikens. As Naruto raised his hand, come on, it's just a bit of fun, he said. As she relented as he folded back and attached back to her body. See what I mean? No fun at all, he says. He continued to walk. Let's just get this done, she said. As he simply walked by her, Conan felt strange. She shook her head as they made their way, this time moving at a much faster pace. Time skip, a large ocean separated this hideout from anything else. There was a lot of failed experiments here after all, and many prisoners that Orochimaru oftenly used. Currently inside, a girl was making her way. Her feet clattered against the tile on the ground. She made her way as she came to a stop in front of a man, as he was in a white lab coat, brown hair, brown eyes. How is it going? The girl said. Sorry, but another failure, the man said. The girl gritted her teeth, as they have been coming up rather defective lately. She's not find a way to did what Orochimaru-sama told her to do. As she looked away, what about the others? She said. They are still in stasis. They haven't awoken yet. The girl sighed. She had red hair with black glasses and red eyes, as she was wearing a light purple coat with a sash wrapped around her waist and black boots that came up and a black shorts as well. This was none other than Karen Uzumaki. Man in front of her was Renji, another one of the scientists here. As she was about to step forward, when her body suddenly swayed to the side. The man looked at her confused. Karen, are you alright? As he noticed her hand was shaking. What the hell is this? Said Karen, as she turned her head towards the exit. Someone's coming. No, this can't be one person. This isn't possible. What is this feeling? As Karen felt a feeling of overwhelming power. But behind that power was rage. She felt it. The person was trying their best to conceal the rage that they were holding, but they could not. As she could feel it in their chakra. They couldn't hide it from her. If they could hide from normal people, they could. But the rage was something else that she never felt before. And power like this, not even Orochimaru scared her this much. As she turned towards the man, Renji, get all of the experiments and let them loose immediately on this person. They have to stop him. What? One person? Yes. Wait, all of them? Yes, all of them. That might buy us enough time to get away from this place. Who is this anyway? Renji asked. I don't know, just do it, she said. Meanwhile, outside, as Naruto's feet touched down, as he looked over the place, he felt something strange. As he looked around, what's wrong? Said Conan, as she landed as well. Don't know. I feel something strange though. As his eyes pulsed and looked around the area. Yes, something strange indeed. As he started to walk, Conan following beside him. The both of them made their way as they came upon two large gates. As there were two men currently standing up on the posts. Identify yourself, one of them said. As Naruto kept on walking. Hey, we're talking to you, the other one said. But Naruto simply ignored them. The two of them pulled on kunais. They looked toward each other and nodded as they tossed the kunais. Naruto didn't even flex or move a muscle, but the kunais dropped towards his side. The gate then started to shake as the hinges were ripped out of the wall and tossed harmlessly to the side. As Naruto kept on walking, both men leaped out of their boot, ready to protect this place. It was their job after all. Remember, we're partners, said Naruto. The moment he said that, two paper shurikens fly into their back as they collapsed down to the ground. As Naruto turned a smile. I thought you wouldn't save me. You didn't need my help, said Conan. But you left yourself wide open. You weren't going to attack them. Well, I have to have trust in my partner, said Naruto as he smiled at her. She simply gave him that cold look. Keep looking at me like that, and I think I'm gonna fall in love with you, with how beautiful you are, he said. Conan just kept on looking at him. Not even a single reaction. Man, you're cold, said Naruto as he just kept on walking. The moment he started to walk deeper into the hideout, he heard ferocious growling as a section of the wall then opened up. As he saw them, strange looking creatures, looking humanoid but different pigments on their bodies, as they all rushed towards Naruto. As Naruto looked up where Conan was flying above him. Remember I said I sensed something strange? Yes, she said. Well, it's a person. I can see their chakra from here. As she looked over towards the distance. It feel like Nagato more than mine. What? This person that Uzumaki, said Naruto. Yes, I'm as surprised as you, he said, despite Conan's facial expression not changing. They're currently running away from this place. Would you go mind and slow them down, said Naruto. They're leaving through the west over there. Conan simply flew off, as she did not wait for anything else. As Naruto stood there as he was surrounded, as a small smile crept on his face. Karen was making her way through, as Renji had went to gather a few things, as she needed to get to the lab immediately to pack up the things and leave this place. Whatever this person was, it scared her to no end. Despite being afraid of Orochimaru, she just couldn't stand up to this person. His chakra was beyond anything she has ever sensed before. So with that, she made her way. But suddenly the wall in front of her exploded, caused by a paper tag. As papers flew into the room, Karen stood there confused as she thought that this was a man that caught her, but it wasn't him. She felt his chakra. This was someone else. Yes, there was another one with him, but his chakra was just so much and overweighting, she barely sensed the other one. As the girl came in the room, blue hair, golden eyes, her face neutral and cold. Who are you, said Karen. My name is none of your concern, said Conan. As she looked Karen up and down. Are you perhaps a Uzumaki? Uzumaki? Why would you want to know that, asked Karen. Given by your hair, I am guessing that you are one. There's someone that wishes to meet you. If you're talking about that monster out there, I'm not gonna go with you, said Karen as she backed away. Monster? Don't tell me you're with this person and you don't sense it. Even though you might not be a good sensor, but can't you feel that? I know that he's powerful, but as Conan narrowed her eyes, so I guess that you have a very in-depth sensory ability. Karen took off, but she had to stop as something broke through the wall. As it was a body of one of the curse rejects. His head was gone, it was just his body that broke through the wall. It was then that she saw a hand grip the wall and pulled himself in. As Naruto looked at her, Karen stepped back in fear, her legs shaking. What the hell was this? In all of her life, she'd never felt something like this before. It was tainted. It was dark. So much anger, so much pain in one person. How could one person like this have so much resentment towards the entire world? What has the world done to him? But despite that, he had a smile on his face. But the smile did not calm her one bit, as she was still shaking. I guess I was right. So you were able to pinpoint your chakras at Uzumaki, despite being so far. What can I say? These eyes are wonder, he said as he looked towards Konan. So has she told you that she's a Uzumaki? No. She wasn't willing to say. And she's scared of you. Why? Said Naruto. It appears she's a good sensor. Oh, he said. As he stepped forward as Karen stepped back. As she ended up stepping back too far and tripped. As she collapsed right on her butt. As Naruto stepped in closer, until he was inches away, he lowered his head. As he smiled at her. Karen didn't know what it was, but it was like something clicked in his chakra. It was like all of a sudden it just changed. And she felt a feeling. He held her hand as she shook in fear, but she didn't feel fear anymore. She felt an overwhelming presence of, well, something that she couldn't really explain. She never felt it before in anyone's chakra. Something that seemed strangely attached to her. As Naruto helped her back up to her feet. Sorry about that, he said. I didn't mean to scare you. As Karen looked at him, not sure what to say. Is there more rejects in this lab? Naruto asked. He knew that she was the one that sent him after him, but he did not elaborate on that. Karen slowly nodded. Her head just moved on its own. And more scientists as well, that Orochimaru has working for him. She nodded once again. Konan, would you get her out of here? Said Naruto. As papers wrapped around Karen's wrists and simply lifted her off the ground. As she squirmed. Hey, let me go, she said. It's better you get away from here, said Naruto. She was confused by that as Konan flew her out of there. As she took her away. Konan was above the facility holding on to Karen, who had calmed down. What the hell is going on? Are you guys gonna kill me? She asked. Kill you? No. As Konan went quiet. That's all? Then what are you guys gonna do with me? Me? Nothing. Him? I don't know yet. But you will hear that soon. What is he doing? He's looking for the one that gave you this job. Orochimaru. Karen shivered. As she just realized something. Your cloaks. You're a part of that group, aren't you? That group? Yes. The one that Lord Orochimaru was on some time ago. Which he deserted. Is that the reason why you're here? To kill him? We do not know the precise location of Orochimaru. But we do know some of his hideouts. Some of the most popular ones. And we intend to search them. This would be a lot easier if you know where he is. I'm sorry, but I don't. He really come here to visit. I don't know what much help I can be for you. So if you just kindly let me go, I'll be on my... That wouldn't be the wisest thing to do right now, said Konan. What do you mean? The moment Karen said that, it happened. Karen had to shut her eyes as she felt the overwhelming force, the power that just expelled in one blow. Debris and dust went everywhere. And in the midst of it all, in the midst of the chaos, stood one man. As he looked around him, everything was gone. The entire facility had been razed to the ground. Nothing remained at all. As Naruto's feet slowly ascended off the ground. As he reached up in the air, Karen was shocked. For one person to be able to do something like this, and not even break a sweat. Well, from what she felt earlier, this seemed to be natural for him. As she was still in mid-air, not focusing, just looking at him with awe. The power that she felt a minute ago seemed endless, like there was another source that she couldn't even grasp. So, are you a Uzumaki? Said Naruto. Or are these eyes of mine wrong? Yes, I'm Uzumaki, she said. She was scared, but a part of her felt compelled to tell him, and she didn't know why. Being the person who she is, as she really don't like to take crap from people, but this guy just put her on edge and at the same time calmed her. She didn't know why. Well, it's nice to meet you. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. And who are you? As he took her hand in his own, Conan looked at the hand but said nothing. My name is Karen Uzumaki. So, now that you know, what do you want from me? Well, I would like to ask you a few questions. First thing, judging by your age, well, from what I can see, you're in your teens, said Naruto. So, you wouldn't have grew up at Uzo? No, I grew up in the land of grass. So what brings you here working for that snake, Naruto asked. She wanted to retort, to say something about Orochimaru and to not call him that, but she couldn't find it in her to say it. My home at the land of grass was attacked. And he found me and saved me. Saved you, said Naruto. As Naruto's eyes scanned her body. Interesting. Your body has medical chakra flowing through it. As Karen blinked, how could you? These eyes are fine. See a lot more recently. Yes, medical chakra. And judging by those wounds on your body. As she covered the bite mark that was near her arm where he could see it. That is a way for them to get it. By biting into your skin. That's quite horrible. A technique to have. I see now. You see what she asked. Why he's interested in you? Because your ability is useful. I'm guessing that's the only reason why he saved you. Do you think, if you didn't possess this, would he give a crap about you, said Naruto? Karen knew that was true. Who are you anyway? And what do you want, she asked. Not willing to answer the question. As I said, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. And a lot has been taken from us, Karen. A lot that you don't even know. The Uzumakis were once a powerful clan. And they have been taken away. By this greedy, painful world that has put you through a lot, as far as I can see. So, the reason I'm here now is to ask you to join me. Join you? Yes. I will be remaking Uzo. To make it be the once powerful clan that it was. And I want you to join me. She looked at him, as she couldn't tell if he was serious or not. Are you crazy? She asked. Huh? Said Naruto. Uzo. Despite I didn't live there, I know about the clan a bit. I didn't know what happened to it, but I know it was from it, but now it's gone. How exactly are you going to remake a clan that is completely gone? Well, this time around, it wouldn't just be filled with members of the Uzumaki clan alone. But there's a few more people out there. That is our family. Which is going to be living there as well. And I want you to live there as well. Karen Uzumaki said Naruto. So, will you accept my offer? This plan of yours sounds crazy. And I just met you. But it's not like I have somewhere else to go now. Seeing that you just destroyed the entire place. And it's not like I can outrun you guys at all. And I'm guessing you won't take no for a firm answer. Well, if you want to leave and go back to Orochimaru, you can, he said. Really? And why would you let that happen, she asked. Don't you want me to be a part of Uzo? Or do you just don't really care who you bring in? Well, being amongst a few members who are original Uzumakis, I don't really want to force you to be somewhere you don't. You're quite modest. If you're gonna be running that entire village, you can't be so modest, she said. Does this mean you want to join me, Naruto asked. Well, like I said, I don't have anywhere else to go now. You're probably right, said Naruto. I did really need a number on the place. You're just noticing that now, she said. She didn't know why, despite spending her entire life fearing Orochimaru, and knowing if she left with this man and betray Orochimaru, he was gonna hunt her down and kill her. She felt no fear. Did she feel like this boy was gonna protect her? She just knew him. It was like she knew him for a long time now. She just met him, and yet she felt so calm around him. His chakra had done a complete 180. And that just made her confused, and also curious as well. Time skip. Orochimaru was currently sitting down. As he had did the body transfer jutsu a bit later, but he did it before Sasuke had arrived. And Sasuke being captured had wasted some time. But his time was coming. Yes, his time was coming up soon. Sasuke has gotten a lot stronger and ripe for the picking. As Orochimaru was currently sitting down beside him, my lord. As Kabuto handed him a folder, Orochimaru went through it as he threw it to the side, furious. He didn't know who or how, but recently, all of his main bases have been getting destroyed. And not just destroyed, pulverized. As he didn't know who was doing it. There was no sighting of who was doing it, because every single member that was there was dead. And he lost something rather valuable, Karen. Yes, with her special blood. He wasn't done with her yet, but no, she was gone, as he couldn't find a body. Sorcery is still trying to get in contact with me, to speak to me, my lord. And that was another troublesome thing. Orochimaru had break that hold that sorcery had on Kabuto a long while now. But now recently, sorcery wanted to speak with him. As Orochimaru did his best to make Kabuto hold off the chat for now, because he feared that it was the Akatsuki who was after him. After all, he knew a man that could do something like that with one simple flip of his wrist. None other than the leader of the Akatsuki. But why would he come after him personally? Orochimaru grit his teeth in frustration. It didn't matter, soon. Soon he will have the body that he seek. And none of them would be able to rival him, as he will make sure to kill each and every one of their members. As he coughed, he went into a coughing fit as he put his hand to his mouth. As he looked at his hand, as he clenched it, it was soon time indeed. Meanwhile, a pair of Sharingan eyes opened up. It was none other than the young Uchiha, as he was sitting on a bed. And he heard Orochimaru and Kabuto discussing about someone destroying the bases. He didn't care about that one bit, but he was a bit pissed off because he lost something very valuable. And that was one of his, well, members that he was going to bring to his cause, Karen Uzumaki. Yes, she had the same last name as the dope. That girl had a special type of chakra, someone that he needed on his team that he was going to build after he killed Orochimaru and get the hell out of here. But nobody was found for her. Whoever was destroying these bases, he was going to make sure to kill them once he's finished with his goal, for messing with his plan. Time skip. At Konoha, as Snavy was currently reading over a letter in her hand. This is bad. This is bad, she said as she cursed in her mind. As she placed letter down on the decks, Shizune, as she hit the intercom. Have they arrived yet, she asked. They will be there shortly, my lady. Moments later, as Kakashi, Shikamaru, Sakura, and a man named Tenzo came inside. As he was going by the name Yamato at the moment, I trust that all of you have acquainted yourself with each other. As they nodded. Gaara. The Kazekage has been kidnapped, she said, shocking them by the news, as they were all surprised an hour ago when they had to meet up. As Yamato had introduced himself to them, well, to Sakura and Shikamaru. As Kakashi already know him, and know they were here to hear this news. Was it them? Asked Kakashi. Them, said Shikamaru. A group known as the Akatsuki, going after the tail beasts, said Snavy. As Shikamaru nodded in understanding. Well, the status about Naruto was leaked. So, almost all of the rookies, well all of them knew about Naruto Jinchuriki status, and knew that others were in the world. No, it made perfect sense about Gaara back then. Sakura, one of their members, Kankuro, has been poisoned. I want you to go there as the head member of the team and help them as well. And the rest of you are to find and rescue the Kazekage and annihilate the Akatsuki members if you may come upon them. Get going, and good luck, she said. They nodded, and with that they left. As Snady sighed, she leaned back in her chair. Thinking about the Akatsuki made she think of him. She reached down and pulled out a bottle of sake as she started to drink. Even though it was midday, she couldn't bother with it already. An hour later, you know, it's rather too early, Haim. Snady turned. She was surprised. Over the years that Naruto went missing, Jiraiya has only probably visited once, as he's been constantly on the search. Seeing him here now, did he have some good news? Jiraiya, she said, as she placed the bottle to the side. Have you... He shook his head sadly. No, he said, after a while, as Snady sighed in defeat. I'm here to report something more daunting, he said. What do you mean by that? I don't want to believe it myself, but I've gotten too many reports to not at least inform you about this. What are you talking about? Over the past 5 months. 5 months, she said. Yes. I wanted to make sure before I come to you and give you this information. Because even I think that is stupid. But there has been too much reports. Too much reports on what? Come on, spit it out, she said. There has been a member of the Akatsuki going around. With blonde hair. Golden eyes. Snady was confused as she did not get it. So what? 3 whisker marks on each cheek. What? Snady scoffed. I thought that you would bring me something useful, not this rubbish. Why are you telling me about this Akatsuki member? And what does that have to do with me? Haim, listen to what I'm saying. I know what you're trying to imply, but no. How is that even possible, Jiraiya? You know what he has inside of him. They want it. Why would they let him join the team? And why would he even agree to join them? I don't know how, but... The sightings. You remember the report I sent you recently about the explosions? Yes, in Land of Beer and Land of Grass. Those places were hideouts of Orochimaru. And... The boy has been spotted there. My spies told me that they felt like he knew that they were there, but he just didn't really care. But Jiraiya, think about this. Think about this long and hard. How could this even be possible? Why? Why would they ever let him join? I don't know, Haim. But who else in this world do you know have whisker marks like that? I don't know, but it can't be him. He would never do something like this. I know what you mean. I've gone over it for a long time now, thinking about the same possibility. I haven't been able to find him, Haim. He's not dead, but I don't have any idea where he is. It's like he's just gone from the face of the earth. And... You're not saying that you're giving up, are you? She asks. No, of course not. It's just... I don't know, he says, he sighed. Time skip. As Naruto came to a stop. As he closed his eyes. Yes, he said. Yes. He then opened his eyes. He turned towards Konan. Go back to the Hidden Rain, he said. What? She said. They have captured the Kazekage. They're making their way towards the hideout in the Land of River, not too far away from here. I'll go in person. Why? She said. Wouldn't it be wise if I just come with you? The Sand and Konoha are allies. I'm guessing that the Sand will send people, and Konoha will as well. I want to be there to speak to Gaara alone about something. If you're there, it will become reckless and anxious. And that is not what I want. Why wouldn't they do the same thing because of you? She asks. You know, it sounds like you're liking my company, said Naruto. As she looked at him with that blank face once again. I just want to speak to Gaara alone. And I also feel that I'll be having a reunion. What do you mean? She said. Don't worry. Once this is all over, I'll be back. And we'll go to the hunt again. After all, we're supposed to be capturing tail beasts as well, aren't we? Said Naruto. Hey, what's the hold up? Said a voice. As Kari made her way. She's been traveling with them for the past few days now. And despite her first thought, well, he was more than nice. Even though they were not blood related or family or anything like that, just being a Uzumaki to him seemed to be rather precious, because he was rather nice to her. But that blue hair girl, Konan, seemed rather distant and cold. She was nothing like Naruto at all, as she has been showing them the location of where Orochimaru bases were set up. If Orochimaru ever knew that she was doing this, she knew that he would try to kill her. But Naruto told her that if he tried anything, he'd rip him apart. As he said it so calmly, like he was not talking about one of Legendary Sanins. But after what she sensed, she knew that he could do it. "You're going back with Konan to the Hidden Rain," said Naruto. "What?" "Well, you're not a member of the Akatsuki," said Naruto. "So this has nothing to do with you." "So you're just leaving me?" "No. I have a house at the Hidden Rain, where I stay in. You can stay there as long as you like. I'll be there a few times to inform you of what is going on. About our plan," he said. "Don't worry. This will be over soon enough, and I'll come to get you. After all, I made you a promise, and you know I don't break my promises. And after this is over, I'll make you meet the family," he said. "Fine," she said, as she wanted to know who were these other Uzumakis, as he was the only other Uzumaki that she knew of, as Naruto did not tell her about Nagato. "Konan, would you mind?" said Naruto. "After all, you have to get back quickly." Konan simply nodded, as with that she raised her hand, as she created a paper spear for Karen to step on. "See you soon," said Naruto. Karen simply nodded, as he looked towards Konan and gave her a soft smile. "See ya," he said. There he goes again doing it. As, despite him not really trying, she shook her head as she just made her way off, without saying anything. "Ice cold," said Naruto to himself, and with that he headed off. He didn't really know what he was doing when it comes towards Konan. He seemed not be interested at all, but he couldn't help with teasing her, because she was so stuck up, trying to be, well, not formal, but something distant. And he knew there was a girl in there that just wanted to have fun. After all, like he said, what's the point of living if you can't have a bit fun most of the time? As he smiled towards himself. True love, he thought towards himself. As he remembered what Kaido and Kaya told him, the first time their eyes met, it was like a spark. That has never happened to him before, as he wondered if something like that was actually real. But when he thought about the Uzumaki clan, there was a lot of things to do when it comes towards repopulation to bring back more Uzumakis. Meaning, he would have to be with more than one wife. As he had talked to Kaya about this, yes, a relationship with more than one wife. As she understands the specialty of this, after all, when the clan was dying out, that is exactly what they did. As Naruto wondered, he levitated off the ground before he took off, not even finished that thought, as he made his way. Time skip. "Finally," said Deidara, as he ran his clay bird, as he swooped down. Both him and Sasori jumped off, as Gaara was in the mouth of the bird. "You guys took a while," said Naruto, as he was leaning on the rock platform there. It's a newbie," said Deidara. "What are you doing here?" "That doesn't concern you," said Naruto. "You know, I understand why every time you and Hidan see each other you get into something. You're rather arrogant." "Me? Arrogant? I wonder if that's the case or you're just dumb," said Naruto. "So you think of me as arrogant?" As Deidara gritted his teeth. "We don't have time for this. Let's begin this already." As Naruto placed his hand on the stone wall, suddenly the thing started to twist and turn, until it rolled over to the other side. As they stepped inside, greeted by the hologram of Pain, and Konan as well. "I see you finally made it," said Pain, as his eyes opened. "Naruto, would this be an hindrance at first, or between?" "No. It will only take a few seconds," said Naruto. "Summon the statue." As the hologram went through hand sign, as he slammed his hand down, there was a poof. As Naruto stood there as the Gedo statue stood tall, the three serpents then came from his body as they went into Gaara. "What is he doing?" said Deidara. "This doesn't concern you," said Naruto. As Deidara gritted his teeth once again, this brat tried to show him up. "Alright," said Naruto. "I will take it from here. The extraction can, immense." Nagato simply nodded, and with that, the members started to flick on the fingers, all of them, flaring to life, the holograms. As Naruto jumped on the finger that Orochimaru used to be on, as he stood there, the serpent still, inside of Gaara's body. "I take it we're ready," said Kisame. "Yes. This will take 3 days, so all of you, make sure that your bodies are secured." With none of them saying anything, "Alright, let's begin." As they went through hand sign, suddenly, the statue mode opened up as a ball of white energy surrounded Gaara's body. It was pale blue as it changed. Gaara's mouth then shot open as the chakra started to leak from his body. They had all seen the serpent come from Naruto's back, but seeing that the leader was not saying anything about it, they did not say anything as well. As Naruto was currently splitting Gaara's chakra from the beast while this was happening at the moment, as Gaara's life force was being kept in check. Time skip. At the hidden sand, "He should be fine now," said Sakura, as Kankuro groaned on the bed. As his eyes slowly flutter open, he shot up, but Sakura placed a hand in his chest. "Calm down, you're safe," she said, as he looked around to see the face of the Konoha ninjas, as his body ached in pain. "Did you get rid of the poison?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "It will take some time for your body to heal up, but don't worry, you should be fine." "Well, now that that's out of the way, we should start the hunt," said Kakashi. "Wait, did you find all my puppets? Did you bring them back here?" asked Kankuro as they looked towards one of the medics. "Yes. Bring me Karasu left arm." The medic went out and brought back what Kankuro told her. "Here. What's this?" "I managed to get a piece of the Akatsuki clothing," said Kankuro. "This is good," said Kakashi. "We can use it to track them." As Kakashi went through hand sign, as dogs appear in the room. "You, Kakashi," said Pakon. "Pakon, I want you guys to find their scent. And be a bit hasty, okay? It's a life and death situation." As Pakon nodded as they all sniff. With that, they all flashed away. Now we just have to wait until they return. Meanwhile, outside, as Tamaru was sitting down, as Shikamaru was sitting beside her. They had been spending a lot of time together recently. Well, considering that they were doing the tuning exams for the village. But this was a real drag to see her in this state, as she was never usually this sad. She was always, well, troublesome. "It's gonna be fine," he said. "We're gonna get to them in time." Well, I guess I should have a bit of hope if the laziest person in the world is telling me that. "Man, I'm trying to cheer you up, and yet you turned me down. This is such a drag," he said, as she looked at him. Ever since the event happened, she hasn't been able to, well, feel normal. But seeing him and just hearing him talk made her smile a bit. As she shook her head, "I hope you're right," she said. Time skip. "We have company," said Zetsu, as he came from the earth. The extraction was paused, as Naruto tilted his head. "Who is it?" said Nagato. "Konoha ninjas. Kakashi Hatake being one of them, and also an old woman from the sand." As sorcerer eyes narrowed inside of Hiruko, but no one noticed. Well, they couldn't, he was inside his puppet. "How far are they?" "They're making their way here as we speak." "How far along is the extraction?" asks Kisame. "They will arrive in time if we don't stall them." "Sorcery, did you bring the plans for the precaution?" "Yes, but there's only 2 of them." Kisame. "Itachi, I'm leaving this up to you. Buy us enough time for us to finish the extraction." "Will do," said Kisame. "Be a long time since I saw a leaf ninja after all." Meanwhile, the group came to a stop. "What's going on?" said Sakura. "Well, if it isn't the famous Kapi Ninja Kakashi Hatake." As Kisame had a broad smile on his face. Kisame. "Itachi, all of you, look down." "So, that's the famous user of the Sharingan, isn't he?" said Lady Chiyo. "Yes. Given from that, I believe you know what those eyes of his can do." "Yes," she said. "Well then, it would be really bad if we were to fall on those illusions." Well, Itachi, Seems like they have been studying up on your eyes. I give you props on that. Not many were able to find out about Itachi that easily. Well, given that you used to know him, it wouldn't be that difficult. So, which one of you wants to die first? Asked Kisame. It's been a long while since I stretched my sword, and Samihata is hungry, he said. Time skip. As both Kisame and Itachi opened their eyes. What happened? We lost. Their teamwork was quite well. And also, they have a special user on their side. Oh. Someone that can use a Mokiton. It was rather surprising. I thought only the first Hokage possessed that. It doesn't matter, said Pain. It's already done. The moment he said that, Gaara's body started to fall. But he did not hit the ground because Naruto, serpents were still holding it up. For the entire time Naruto's eyes were closed, as he wasn't saying a word. Gaara's body didn't rest on the ground gently by Naruto's serpents, as Naruto slowly opened his eyes. As he looked around the room, all of you, that is one complete. Go on and complete the rest of your objectives. With that, their images start to flicker away, leaving behind 5 people. As Konan lingered behind for a second before she went away. As Pain looked at Naruto, what will you do now? Well, I want to have a talk with him, so I guess I'll wait till they wake up. You know they're coming, right? Are you gonna fight them? Asked Pain. Well, if they don't push it, no. But don't worry, I'll be there soon. He should wake up very soon. The hologram nodded, and with that his image just disappeared. As Naruto stood there and he turned his head, you two, leave. What? Said Deidara. I said leave. This doesn't concern you. What do you mean this doesn't concern us? They're here for us. And if you can't really see, we're not hologram like the others. So we'll have to fight our way through. They're not here yet, said Naruto. So I suggest you use this time to leave. Meanwhile, we should have told him that there was another team there. As Itachi looked towards Kisame. But we didn't, said Kisame. I'm sure they can handle it. After all, Naruto is there. Are you so confident in his skills already? I mean, he's still a brat, isn't he? No. I'm afraid he's far from a brat anymore. What does that mean? Do you really believe that he's that strong? He is. And he only seems to be getting stronger. Well, that's surprising. What do you mean? Itachi said. You being so vocal about the matter. He must be strong. He must have placed quite an impression on you. Itachi said nothing as he continued to walk. Meanwhile, now, Guy's team ripped off the ceiling papers as Kakashi ripped off the one in the boulder. Sakura leaped forward as Kakashi jumped away as she smashed her fist into it. As Kakashi landed down, Kakashi, seems like we've gotten ourselves into a bit of trouble here. What is it, Guy? Well, there was a trap set. Copies of ourselves has just right out of the ground. Don't worry, we'll handle it. Go on. The moment Kakashi got the frequency, there was an explosion. But it came from the other side of the cave. Were they trying to escape? Kakashi motioned forward as they all leaped inside. As Shikamaru, Lady Chiyo, Sakura, and Kakashi landed as their feet hit the water inside. Their eyes quickly taking in the darkness to find out how is the position and what is going on. But what they saw was not what they were expecting. There was one person still remaining though. And at his feet there was Gaara. His back was turned towards them so they could not see his face, as they didn't know who it was. As Gaara was lying at the ground. As the group focused as they noticed his chest was rising up and down. Did they feel? Gaara was alive. She looked at Kakashi as Kakashi looked back at her. Yes, he was definitely alive. There was a massive hole in the wall on the other side. As Kakashi gave Shikamaru a signal, as Shikamaru went through hand sign, seeing that light was seeping in, the shadow of the man, they could see it fully. Shikamaru's shadow lashed forward and connected the man's shadow, but he still did not move. Shikamaru stood there in confusion, despite holding on to the chakra. He felt like he couldn't move this person, which was strange. You know, I never expect you to be the fast one. Sakura felt her heart froze as she heard that voice. No, it couldn't be. But it sounded so similar, but a bit more older. You're always the lazy one after all. As Kakashi eyes Naru, as his Sharingan was already out full view. No, that's impossible. Lady Chiyo looked at their reaction and wondered what was going on. So, I see your shadow has gotten faster, Shikamaru. I mean, I could have dodged it, but still, I'm surprised by the speed. You must have been training while I was gone. As Sakura stepped forward, but Kakashi stopped her. Who are you? He said. Huh, that's disappointing. How could you not remember your student? Well, I guess Sasuke was the only one that you focus on. Isn't that right? Kakashi-sensei said Naruto as he turned. As they froze. But guys, if you end right here, if you want the next part of this to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. And yeah, remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform. And go ahead and check out the new episode over on Anime King, guys, of what if Naruto was given abilities by 4 devils, and enjoy that. But for now, Motive here. See you guys soon. Peace.